So, you want to be a product manager. It's one of the most competitive and high-impact jobs out there for sure. But here's the thing. Just having good ideas isn't going to cut it. You have to prove you can execute. And in this explainer, we're going to build the essential toolkit that will help you do exactly that.
Let's start with this, because it really gets to the heart of the matter. See, anyone can come up with a cool new feature, but a great product manager, they understand how to create real, measurable impact for the user and for the business. This is the mindset you need to channel into every single answer you give in an interview.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to break down why these interviews are so notoriously tough. Then, we'll map out the entire process, build up your toolkit with some killer frameworks, see how they work with real examples, and finally, we'll lock in that winning mindset that pulls it all together.
So why are these interviews so intense? Well, think about it. Companies like Google, Meta, and Netflix aren't just hiring someone to take notes and manage a schedule. They are looking for leaders, decisive leaders who can connect the dots between strategy, technology, and what users actually need to move the business forward. The interview is their filter to find those rare people.
And that level of intensity really shapes the whole interview process. You should think of it as a journey with multiple stages. And honestly, just knowing the map is the first and maybe most important step to getting through it successfully.
And here's what that map usually looks like. It starts off pretty broad with a recruiter screen, but then it dives deep into your core skills, your product sense, and your technical chops. After that, it zooms back out to test your bigger picture strategic thinking with metrics and leadership questions, all building up to that final round with senior leaders.
Across every single one of those stages, these are the core skills they are digging for. They want to see if you can truly connect a problem to a viable solution. Do you get the user? Can you prioritize ruthlessly when everything seems important? And maybe most crucially, they're testing your ability to lead and influence a team when you have absolutely no direct authority over them.
Okay, so that's a lot, right? How on earth do you show all those skills when you're under pressure? Well, this is where your toolkit comes in. And let's be super clear. Frameworks aren't scripts to be memorized. They are structures, mental scaffolding, to help you organize your thoughts so you don't miss any critical steps.
Think of your toolkit as having 4 main compartments. You've got your tools for problem solving, which help you break down those huge, vague questions. You've got tools for prioritization to figure out what to build first and why. Then you've got metrics and strategy tools for measuring success and seeing the bigger picture. We're going to focus on a few of the big ones. Okay, so when you get one of those dreaded design a product for X questions, Circles is your absolute best friend. Its whole job is to prevent you from jumping straight to a solution. It forces a logical flow. You start by comprehending the situation, asking clarifying questions. Then you identify the customer, report their needs, prioritize what's most important, and only then do you get to list solutions, evaluate them, and summarize your recommendation. It's a lifesaver.
All right, theory is great and all, but let's get our hands dirty. Let's see how these tools actually work when the pressure is on. We're going to take a super common interview prompt and apply our frameworks directly to it.
Here we go, a classic product sense question. It's broad, it's vague, and it's 100% designed to see how you think. Now, the panicked response is to just start blurting out features, but the great PM response, it starts with structure. So here's how you'd use that structure. With Circles, you'd start by asking clarifying questions. Are we talking online payments or in person? Are these teens getting allowances or do they have jobs? Then you define your customer personas. A 14-year-old on an allowance is a totally different user than a 17-year-old with a part-time job, right? It's only after you've done that work that you can start brainstorming solutions and proposing a clear MVP.
Let's switch gears to another critical interview question type, behavioral questions. For these, your go-to framework is STAR. It's a simple, but believe me, incredibly powerful storytelling tool for answering questions like, tell me about a time you failed. You just set the situation, describe your task, explain the specific action you took, and then share the measurable result.
And the difference this makes is just night and day. Look at the weak answer on the left. It's vague, it's forgettable. Now look at the strong answer on the right. It uses STAR to give context, show specific action, and it ends with a quantifiable result. That is what interviewers remember. It screams ownership and impact.
Okay, pop quiz. Let's test your metrics thinking. You're in the interview and they ask, what is the North Star metric for Uber Eats? Take a second. What's your gut answer?
A really strong answer is completed deliveries per active user per month. Why? Because it measures the health of the entire system. The customer gets their food, the restaurant makes a sale, the driver gets paid, and the platform wins. It captures value for everyone. But the next level insight is to also mention the trade-offs. You'd say that focusing only on this could hurt restaurant satisfaction or driver pay. So you'd need balancing metrics to keep the whole ecosystem healthy.
So, we've packed our toolkit full of frameworks, but the most important element, the most important tool you have, isn't a framework at all. It's the mindset that you bring into the room. Frameworks help you showcase this mindset, but they can never replace it.
This is that mindset. A great PM is obsessed with the user, but they're also a sharp strategic thinker. They are data-informed, not data-driven, which is a huge difference. It means they use data to ask better questions, not just as a dictator of what to do. They communicate clearly, they prioritize relentlessly, and ultimately, they own the impact of their work, not just the tasks on their to-do list.
And let's close out this section with this powerful idea. As a PM, you don't really manage people directly. Your authority doesn't come from your title. It comes from your clarity of thought, your strategic insights, and your ability to rally the team around a compelling vision. You have to earn it every day. And finally, you know how every interview ends with, "So, do you have any questions for us?" Do not waste this opportunity. Asking a question like this does two incredible things. First, it shows you're already thinking strategically about how you'd fit in. But even more importantly, it gives you critical insight into the company's real culture. It's your one chance to interview them back and decide if it's the right place for you to make an impact.